Alright, so as you can see, we have bought ourselves a small camper. I'll go a little bit more into why we've done this later, but right now we really need to get it ready because we're leaving on a little trip very early in the morning. We are on the road. We have been for several hours now, and I am exhausted. Are you tired?
I'm tired. I can't imagine how you feel.
Yeah, I got like 2.5 hours of sleep last night. I feel like it was kind of back to those newborn days almost. Just going off of fumes, no sleep. So anyway, we are headed out on a little trip to Big Bend National Park, actually. This is the place that we've always wanted to go, and being in our home state, we thought now that we have a camper, like how fun that would be to get to go there and to explore and do all of that.
We'll do a shakedown test of the camper.
He keeps calling this the shakedown.
Yeah, you gotta take
test
it
everything
on
out.
Its maiden voyage. Well, it's not really its maiden voyage. It's a pre-owned unit, but still.
Yeah, it's new to us, but it's not new.
Yeah.
But still, it's our maiden voyage. So yeah, if you've watched our channel for a while, you know that we like to do road trips. And now that we have children, having a camper just is going to make things so much easier and going to make us be able to do road trips, I think, a lot more easily, because before, like when we went to Alaska, we stayed in the Civic hatchback. I don't think we could do that with the kids.
Our micro camper.
Yeah, Spencer converted the back into like a little bed storage thing. I don't think that would work now.
I've got 40 miles to the gallon.
But the main reason that we got the camper is because we really needed it to stay in it somewhere. And that's all we can say about that for now. But we want you guys to know that something big is coming.
Very big.
You can pack your bags, cause we're headed on vacation. Throw them in the back on to our destination. Don't forget your toothbrush, and you don't need to make up. Don't forget your toothbrush, you don't need no makeup. Headed on a road trip, let's go, let's go. Watching every town we dip on past. You're in charge of the tunes, just skip the ones that make.
Between those lips and that mustache, I'm liking what I'm seeing. You got a cowboy hat? You looking like a dad that's about to go camping. Who's hungry?
What's this?
This is fun.
What's this?
Alright, so we just spent our first night in the RV and it was an experience. We definitely learned a lot.
Many things we would change.
So we have some things to fix already, some things that we're definitely just gonna need to get to make our life easier, but we figured we would do a little tour for you guys. We're at a campground near the park, so we want to do this real quick before we get going today. Ready? Okay, so what we have is a 2021 Rockwood GeoPro 19BH, and overall I do really like the layout and I think that it is perfect for us. It is very simple and small, and I mean, I think it has everything we need and nothing that we don't. Like, there's no excess space here, which
Definitely
is good.
no excess space.
Yeah, no, but I like that. Especially, that means it's lighter, so towing.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, here's the front door, and when you walk in, you just are immediately in it all. We got the master bedroom over here. if you would even call it that.
Once you add a curtain, I guess you could call it that.
Yeah, eventually we're gonna add a curtain here, which will be nice, especially if we want to like watch anything at night or anything. Got some storage up top, storage down below, and then right next to the bed we have our little seating area. This actually gets pushed down and you can make it into a whole another bed for another person. Got storage up here, that's where all our food is right now. Across the way here we have our little kitchen. We discovered last night the oven doesn't work. So that's something to fix. But a nice big sink and...
Yeah, the stovetop works, but not the oven itself.
Yeah, we went to make pizza last night and instead we had salad and broccoli. Alright, then moving right along, we have our microwave, our fridge here, and a nice big freezer, which I was not anticipating with a camper this small, so that's been really nice. Then we have the little bunk area right here, which was an experience last night. Just the kids being in a new place, like didn't want to stay in their bunks, and they eventually fell asleep though, because the AC got really cold, so we think that like froze them out and made them stay under the covers. So so that, there's some storage down there that can actually be accessed from outside. All right, and then coming into the bathroom, it is small, but again, it has everything that we need. We don't have a place to hang our towels right now, so that's why they're there. But you got your toilet, your mirror, and then the shower. I mean, again, it's small, but I think it's perfect for me. For Spencer, on the other hand, he's a big guy.
It's a little small.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's...
It does the job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
How's it going in here?
That's the wide angle.
Getting steamy.
I just started, but yeah, I'm a little too tall for the shower.
I'm gonna transition by swooping it down, okay?
Oh my God.
So yeah, seeing him in the shower is pretty funny, but again, it works. And as far as the sink goes, we just have this little contraption here in the shower. It's funny because whenever I first saw it, I'm like, this looks like something that would be like an International Space Station or something. So I kind of feel like an astronaut with that there. But, oh my God, it was so stupid. Okay.
The water molecules would just...
Spencer, I know it doesn't work that way. It just looks like something that would be in space. You guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, anyway. But yeah, we haven't even used it yet because the sink in the kitchen is like 2 feet away. So that's where we wash our hands, do everything, brush our teeth so far. So yeah, I think that's it.
We spent the next couple of days exploring the park. I wish we had some footage to share with you guys, but unfortunately you're not allowed to film inside of the park. We had a lot of fun though, and we're really happy we did the trip, so we could test out the camper and see what all we needed to fix and what we wanted to change. Because although going on road trips and being able to stay in campgrounds are added benefits of having the camper, the thing we are most interested in, and the real reason we got the camper, is for boondocking. Boondocking is camping without any hookups outside developed campgrounds. And why would we want this? Well, you'll just have to stay tuned to find out.
So one of the things that we noticed that was broken was our oven. Stovetop works, but not the oven itself. We had this grand plan of making this delicious frozen pizza. And yeah, that was a fail, big time.
So you guys know that our oven is broken, so we decided to try to cook this thin crust pizza outside on the griddle.
I mean, it ended up working out, but...
It took like an hour and a half to cook.
Yeah, way too long. So I'm going to, I'm pretty sure it's just going to be the little sensor that sends the signal to allow the propane to come out, from my understanding. I don't totally understand how this all works, but from my little research. But before I go ahead and just order the part, I want to kind of take this burner off and make sure there's no loose connections, because I found lots of loose screws.
When I was cooking, I think I had like 3 screws fall out on the stovetop. We may have eaten one. There might have been a 4th.
Oh my gosh. There, I can see one's loose. Yeah, there's that one that's totally out.
Yeah, all these back here were loose.
Well,
The washer's done. We can hear it through the monitor.
so the
Hey
propane-
baby, I think there's something in your hair.
My hair?
Yeah.
My,
Oh, you must have laid on it.
it's a dinosaur?
Yeah.
A dinosaur in my play? My dinosaur? I want to help you, Daddy.
This is that little sensor thing, I'm pretty sure. Or is it this thing? I'm not 100%.
I want to help you, Daddy.
Did we cook cookies?
No. I cannot wait for all the adventures we're gonna go on in this thing.
I know. All the national parks.
Uh-huh. We got the kids this book
right here.
with all the national parks in it. It's pretty neat. You know what we should do? We should keep this book in the camper for whenever we go on adventures, right? Each time we go to a national park or wherever we go, write it in here and write the date. So you can like eventually see. Wouldn't that be cool?
My see? My dad might see this?
Yeah, so one day we can look back.
When you see your mountains.
You're looking for the mountains? Alright, this cookie's really grossing me out.
And the ground beef back there is even worse.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Alright, so I think I fixed it. I'm pretty sure it was just air in the lines. So what I did after taking this entire thing apart, just ran the gas lines for a little bit from the stove, and then also from the actual the knob itself, and I lit it mechanically with an actual a lighter and started up. So once I got it to run, I shut it down and then started up with the actual electric ignition. Starts up every time.
Yay. Well, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I'm glad we didn't have to order anything.
Right. Just got to put it back together now. Okay, so what we're working on today is inside this camper. It's the toilet. Because we got a situation going on back there. What?
Sounds weird.
What we're going to be doing is just changing out the flush toilet for a compost toilet. And the reason we want to switch over to a compost toilet is because, one, there's not a black tank to have to worry about and to empty. So whenever we're boondocking for extended amounts of time, you don't have to stop and go worry about emptying it. But two, with that whole boondocking thing is we won't be using water in order to flush the toilet. So it will conserve on water and we'll be able to stay places longer.
Sounds good. You better go take care of your situation in the bathroom. How's it going in there?
It's going.
Do you need some help?
Well, it doesn't have an actual shut-off valve, so I'm going to have to cap the flexible lines. But other than that, it's just... Oh my god, those caps are on there.
Every shot in this part of the video is just gonna be your caboose. That would make for one excellent thumbnail.
Oh my god. Let me see if there's a shut-off valve. Let me look behind this plastic trim. Too much water from this.
Is there a lot of water leaking?
Yeah.
Hey babe,
Yeah.
I forget what your face looks like.
Why wouldn't they install a shut-off valve? Super simple. It would cost only a few dollars more. And there's no like room or anything to pull the line out and put it in a bucket, you know? The issue I'm having is I have about that much, maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches of line that comes out of the wall, and then it kind of angles up and does a bunch of stuff in order to reach the toilet. So it's kind of like not the best access to get to it. So what I was going to do is remove this box back here and then cut it at the main entry point and then cap it there. That way I could also add a shutoff valve or whatever, but I think I'm just going to leave the little nub that they have coming out of the wall, cut that, and then cap that.
And you're sure you have the right size cap?
Positive, yeah.
That didn't sound very certain.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It looks like a 1/2 inch fitting.
And what if it's wrong?
Just flood the trailer.
Spencer.
I'm just joking, there's not that much water.
I was gonna say, how much water?
I don't know how much is in those lines, but I guess we're about to find out.
Spencer, no! Is it fitting?
The wrong size.
Shut up. Are you serious?
Yep. And of course, the toilet flange is an 11mm. None of my wrenches fit it, so I have to go get a different size wrench. I was going to dump the water into the tank, into the black tank, but I can't even get the toilet off because it's the wrong size.
Run! Run! This is incredibly uncomfortable. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. Did he go on a walk? I feel like a pretzel. Spencer?
So we don't have any 3/4 inch plugs
Shocker.
or a shutoff valve or anything.
Sound very prepared. So what's your plan?
I want to use the hose to drain it. Oh my god.
I'm gonna have to let go.
Do not do that.
I'm like stretching with all my might to reach this. That's why it's so uncomfortable and hard to do.
Well, I don't know what to do. This hose, for some reason, has a little built-in block. Everything is working against us right now. This thing is just dumping water. How much water could be in this thing? I'm gonna see if I can get this to go down the black tank.
What's happening? You see?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought we emptied it.
apparently not very well.
Spencer!
It stinks.
Oh my god. It smells so bad.
Oh my god!
It smells like broccoli.
It does. I gotta get out of here.
So why did you think cutting that would be a good idea?
Well, one, I thought these hoses would be 1/2 inch, which I guarantee you this PEX line right there is 1/2 inch. They just squeezed 1/2 inch PEX lines because you can tell this line right here is just squeezed really tightly. Why they decided to transition from PEX to braided line, but none of that was exposed.
This little trim board was just over all of that, so he couldn't see any of that, and then the toilet was also in the way, so that's why all of this happened. The series of unfortunate events.
Oh, look at that. 1/2 inch slid right on. You want to blast off? 3, 2, 1.
Alright, so today, now that the toilet is all out of there, what we're going to work on doing is getting the compost toilet in. And in order to do that, what Spencer's going to actually have to do is build a little trim piece underneath the compost toilet to raise it up a little bit, because we have the toilet flange down there. So in order for it to clear that, he's going to have to build that. And while he's at it, he's also going to trim out the lines behind the toilet. He's going to do all of that, the trim piece underneath the compost toilet, everything just in PVC. But yeah, there was a little trim piece over those lines behind the toilet, but it got wet and it was just particle board, so it swelled up some. So that's why we're doing that.
Just have a little bit of routering to do and some finishing paint just so it looks a little bit more polished.
Here.
No.
Mom, It's bird poop. So this is what it looks like originally, and then after he routers the edges. These little details though.
The little things you'll never see unless you remove the toilet.
It's true. Hey, if you ever want to remove it to be able to go like do your thing outside, then you would see it.
Yeah.
That'll definitely happen. That sounds really nice.
Be like, man, that flange is really nice.
Wanna go on a walk? Alright, so now that the toilet's all installed, we wanted to go through and explain kind of how it worked. And real quickly, this isn't sponsored or anything. This is just the one that we decided that we wanted to buy. So, let's get into it. That sounds so stupid.
Let's get into this toilet.
Starting off, the way that this works, pretend this little lid is not here, but whenever you go, number 1 is in the front, number 2 is in the back. We're keeping them separate. So the way that it works is your number 1 will go into this front container, and there's this little rubber flap in there, and what that does is helps obviously keep the liquids in, but also helps keep the odor in, because that is where most of your smell would come from. But to also help with the smell, what we're going to be doing is spraying a little vinegar spray after you go to just help minimize those odors. Then, in this back one here, this lid obviously is not on when you're going. That would be a disaster. So the way that this works is it's lined with these little compostable bags, and you go number 2, and then what we're going to be doing is sprinkling coconut coir on it, and you just continue that process until it's full, and then you take the bag out. And what we're going to be doing is having compost bins. So we're going to fill up a bin, and then you wait a year, and then you can use it as compost for trees and stuff. So that's what we've decided to do. But if you didn't want to do the whole compost bins and that whole process, I mean, once it's done, you could just fill up the bag and throw it out in the trash, because it's essentially no different than a dirty diaper at that point. If anything, it's even better because of the compostable bag. And it's not sewage or anything, because again, the number 1 and the number 2 don't mix, so.
I mean, after a year, it would be nothing different than dirt, fertilized dirt.
So yeah, that's what you do whenever that bin is full. And then whenever your number 1 bin is full, you can just take this out and pour it out wherever if you're in the country. But if you are somewhere like an RV park or something, there's this little lid here that you can put on here and then just go to the restroom and pour it out in the toilet. So it's a really simple system, but I think it makes sense and it just works. It looks like it works. We haven't used it, but I'll keep you updated on our bathroom situation.
Action.
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing that's really nice about this, and the main reason why we went with the compost toilet, is because that way we don't have to worry about dump stations and black water.
Right.
So, I mean, our RV has 30 gallons of black water and 30 gallons of gray water. So gray water is just going to be your sinks and your showers. The black is obviously from the toilet. So with this, it eliminates the black altogether. So you never actually have sewage. Yes, you have number 2, but you don't have it. Once it mixes with the urine, that's when you create sewage, and that's when it's not.
That's when
fun.
you need a dump station.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah. So now you know.
One more thing I forgot to talk about is how we decided to attach it is just by a really heavy duty Velcro, which will be more than enough to hold this in place. But just in case, before we do ever move the camper, we will empty its contents. But yeah, the reason why we decided to use Velcro was for a couple reasons. First of all, if you are in a situation that you want to take the toilet outside and go, that will be really nice to be able to do. But also, worst case scenario, let's say you don't check the front tank frequently enough and then it ends up like overflowing or something. You can literally just detach the entire toilet, take it outside and clean it. So yeah, that's why we decided to do that. Hopefully this just doesn't like totally backfire on us and we just forget that the entire thing is full and then you take a really hard right turn and then just the entire thing goes everywhere. That escalated quickly.